to return to your body. Now you don't have time.
Time is relative. Your body hasn't even hit the floor yet. I've spent so many years peering through time.
I just figured out two perfect spots where Dr. Jericho Drumm, aka Brother Voodoo or Dr. Voodoo, could show up in the MCU. First, there's Doctor Strange 3, and second, the upcoming Blade movie, which feels like the most likely option. Now, you're probably wondering how and why this would work. Don't worry, I got you covered. Let's dive into everything we know so far about Brother Voodoo's potential MCU debut. Brother Voodoo, now known as Dr. Voodoo, is one of Marvel's most overlooked supernatural characters. Despite being around for decades, he's never truly had his time in the spotlight. Over the years, his role has been mostly limited to being a supporting character or a sidekick to Doctor Strange, which is ironic given Marvel's growing focus on supernatural stories and their push for diversity. Still, there's hope that Marvel could finally use Brother Voodoo's untapped potential and give him his own unique space. Brother Voodoo made his debut in Strange Tales number 169, created by a team including Stan Lee, Len Wein, John Romita, and Roy Thomas. His story begins with Jericho Drumm, a Haitian-born doctor who returns home after studying in America, only to find his brother Daniel, a voodoo practitioner, dying from an evil Loa spirit's curse. Determined to stop the threat, Jericho trains extensively in the mystic arts and becomes Brother Voodoo. He gains the unique ability to connect with his brother's spirit, which enhances his powers and helps him battle supernatural forces. Early on, he appeared in horror anthologies like Tales of the Zombie, but his solo adventures never gained mainstream traction. Surprisingly, Brother Voodoo didn't make it onto Marvel 90's Midnight Suns horror team, which featured characters like Blade and Morbius. This was a major missed opportunity that could have elevated his status. His most notable moment came much later, when he briefly replaced Doctor Strange as the Sorcerer Supreme and adopted the title Dr. Voodoo. Fun fact, this was actually the name Marvel originally considered before switching to Brother Voodoo. Unfortunately, even with the talented Rick Remender writing his solo series, it lasted only 5 issues before being cancelled. If Marvel wants to give Brother Voodoo a fresh start, they should consider returning to his original name. Dr. Voodoo feels too much like he's riding on Doctor Strange's coattails, which undermines his individuality. Jericho's powers, particularly his connection to his brother's spirit, are distinct enough to stand out, but they need to be better emphasized. Additionally, his stories should embrace his unique roots. For example, Brother Voodoo's original tales were set in a mansion in Haiti, giving his character a rich cultural backdrop. Moving away from the typical New York setting could make his adventures feel fresh and offer new narrative possibilities. By exploring Haitian culture and its mysticism, Brother Voodoo could bring something rare and authentic to Marvel's lineup, showcasing stories that aren't seen often in comics or mainstream media. Introducing Brother Voodoo as an independent character would also help expand Marvel's magical universe. Currently, Doctor Strange is the dominant figure in this space, but Marvel could take notes from DC. DC has a roster of magical heroes like Zatanna, John Constantine, Dr. Fate, and the Justice League Dark, all of whom operate independently but enrich the mystical side of their universe. Marvel has the potential to do the same by giving Brother Voodoo his own spotlight. With the right creative team and a compelling story, Brother Voodoo could finally step out of Doctor Strange's shadow and become a standout character in his own right. A series that leans into his Haitian roots, his unique powers, and a darker supernatural tone could be just what Marvel needs to turn him into a fan favorite. It's time for Jericho Drumm to beat his own drum and claim his place in the Marvel Universe. A deleted scene from Doctor Strange hinted at a significant MCU setup, but it was ultimately cut from the film. Interestingly, the upcoming Blade movie presents a perfect opportunity to revisit and pay off this storyline. While details about Mahershala Ali's Blade remain sparse, with the film set for release in 2024, its connection to supernatural elements makes it the ideal place to explore this intriguing piece of MCU lore. 2017's Doctor Strange marked the MCU's first deep dive into magic, introducing audiences to mystical powers, enchanted artifacts, and the wide array of magic users from Marvel Comics. While many magical characters have yet to debut in the MCU, Those that have are often tied to Doctor Strange's storyline. One such character, Daniel Drum, brother of Jericho Drum, almost made his MCU debut in a deleted scene. In the deleted scene, Doctor Strange encounters a sorcerer in the Sanctum Sanctorum, sitting quietly on the upper level. This sorcerer is Daniel Drum, a figure familiar to Marvel comic fans as the spirit bonded to his brother Jericho. While this scene was cut, it still leaves the door open for Daniel, and by extension Brother Voodoo, to enter the MCU. Blade provides a logical entry point for this. So why might Brother Voodoo appear in Blade? For one, Marvel seems to be teasing a Midnight Suns team-up, as hinted at in the Eternals post-credit scene where Blade reaches out to the Black Knight. The Midnight Suns is a team rooted in Marvel's supernatural side, featuring characters like Blade, Ghost Rider, and Brother Voodoo. Including Brother Voodoo in Blade would align perfectly with this direction, especially since Daniel Drum has already been teased in the MCU. Blade's battle against vampires might require some magical assistance, making Brother Voodoo a natural fit. His unique abilities, including his connection to his brother's spirit, bring a distinct flavor to the mystical side of Marvel. Bringing Brother Voodoo into the Blade movie would not only set the stage for the Midnight Suns, but also finally capitalize on the potential hinted at in that deleted Doctor Strange scene. While Blade could be the perfect place to introduce Brother Voodoo, his character might hold even more significance for Doctor Strange 3. The post-credit scene of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness set up Strange's return to the Dark Dimension with Clea, a storyline that could easily tie into Brother Voodoo's comic book history. In the comics, Brother Voodoo frequently teams up with Doctor Strange to battle Dormammu, who is likely the reason Strange has to return to the Dark Dimension in the upcoming film. With Brother Voodoo almost introduced in the first Doctor Strange film, it feels like the groundwork is already in place for his appearance. But battling Dormammu is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Brother Voodoo's potential impact on Doctor Strange's story. In the comics, Jericho Drum actually replaces Strange as the Sorcerer Supreme following his death, adopting the title of Dr. Voodoo. While Wong currently holds the Sorcerer Supreme mantle in the MCU, there's room for Brother Voodoo to step into that role in the future, either as Wong's eventual successor or as another powerful ally in the mystical realm. This layered history gives Brother Voodoo plenty of room to shine in Doctor Strange 3. Whether helping Strange and Clea confront Dormammu or laying the groundwork for his rise to Sorcerer Supreme, his inclusion would bring depth and diversity to the story. And if he first appears in Blade, his role in the MCU could feel even more connected and significant. By intertwining the supernatural threads of Blade and Doctor Strange, Marvel could elevate Brother Voodoo into a major player in their mystical narrative. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop, and if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.